thùng này ổng dữ luôn á.
Alligator at the park. He is 13.4 foot and weighing approximately
Đang cho cá sấu
1,000
ăn.
pounds. He's our oldest alligator at the park. He's 92 years old. How we know that is why we sent a sample of his osteoderm, which is the bony plate along the top side of their body, and we sent that to Texas A&M. And if y'all ever cut a tree, you know how you can tell how old a tree is and has rings.
Oh.
So it's the same thing with that. They'll count the rings and basically they can tell the age by how many winters he survived. So that's how we don't do that test for all our gators because it costs $10,000. So, but yeah, he's definitely our oldest here. Now his story starts a long time ago, back in 1984. Down the road, about 11 miles at a rice farm. One day a rice farmer went out and he went out to one of his ponds on his property and found an owl. Owl was eating all his fish and he didn't like that. So he decided to call Texas Parks and Wildlife to come and get him. But they failed to tell the farmer that there was only 4 people in the state of Texas licensed to catch nuisance gators.
Oh.
So he was waiting around forever and he got tired of it. So he decided to deal with it himself. He got the rifle and he shot Al in his left shoulder, thinking he killed him. And he saw Al sink to the bottom of the pond. So he was like, this is fun for another day, I'll deal with it later. And so he came out the next day to find Al still alive and found his also
Cá sấu nó đi theo vòng vòng
Al
anh kia.
got revenge on his dog and this just made shooting Al just made him mad, so he didn't know what to do. So he actually decided to call the original owner of this property to come and get him. Back then, in the 80s and 90s, this used to be a facility where they would like harvest gators.
Cái sấu bự lắm.
5 foot, and they would use
con này chắc mấy trăm ký.
all that stuff. So he went out there and caught Al by himself. And instead of killing him, he decided to bring him back here and put him in our breeding pond back there, behind the swap shack. And back there was a breeding pair. These 2 gators named Igor and Allie. They were out there, all 3 of them together, and Al went around in the pond and he went to Igor and said, I like your pond, I like your girl, but I don't like you. So he killed Igor, but Igor did not go down without a fight. He saw that Al's left shoulder was all jacked up, so he grabbed it and did a death roll on it, so now it's barely working and Al can't really move that quick. So that went on, he got rid of Igor, and Al and Allie lived happily ever after. They ended up getting married and a priest came in and everything, so they were doing good. Until 2000.
98.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm still new to this. So everything was going good until 1998 when the park got abandoned with 1,100 gators on the property. Now I have a question for y'all. Do y'all think, how many gators do y'all think were left on this property after 7 years? So Gary, our owner, bought the property in 2005. So after 7 years and leaving 1,100 gators, how many do you think stayed or still here when they came back? Just shoot out some numbers.
Ghê, nắm cái đuôi.
That's it? I need some numbers. 4? Yeah. 3,000. Okay. That's way wrong. When Gary bought the place, he recruited some game wardens. They came out here to come count the gators, and they only found Al and
Biểu diễn cá sấu ở đây đang ở Mỹ nè các bạn. Ở Mỹ, cái khu này, cái nơi, cái farm của người ta. Mình đang ở Mỹ, Houston, Texas. Ở đây có hai anh, cái anh lớn tuổi với lại một anh bạn trẻ tuổi. Tất cả đều họ rất là giỏi. Ồ, hùng con cá sấu. Ồ.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? As the last few are getting over here, I'm going to get started on the next portion of our show. This right here is the legendary Big Tex. Coming in at 14 foot 1 inch, going on 2, and over 1,100 pounds. He's actually the largest gator alive in captivity in the world. My friends, if y'all hear me right, he is the largest living gator in captivity in the world. You cannot go to Mexico, you cannot go to Russia, you cannot go to Japan, you cannot go anywhere in the world and see a bigger gator alive in captivity than Big Tex. Big Tex's story starts back in the good old year of 2016 on Champion Lake near Dayton, Texas. Tex grew up his entire life getting fed by humans, so much so that he had completely lost his fear of them. Everyone loved feeding Big Tex, you know? That was until he got just a little too big for their liking. And when alligators get a little too big for people's liking, they stopped feeding them. Tex was like, guys, what happened to my food? You know? He didn't like that he stopped getting fed, so he decided to hatch a plan for revenge. It was called Tex's Toll. Tex saw that just about everybody was putting in their boats at this one boat ramp, and he was like, that's easily exploited. So he took all 14, or at that time around 13.8, 13.9 foot of his body, and he laid it directly across the boat ramp. And he would not let anybody launch their boat until they paid Tex's Toll. Tex's Toll, folks, was your ham and cheese sandwiches, your catching the day, your kids that weren't behaving. You just take them in your hand, throw them as far as you could one direction, wait for Tex to slide off that boat ramp and launch your boat. But you had to be quick, folks, because if not, you just lay up there again. You know, Tex, he enjoyed that for a while, you know, charging his toll, being his little toll booth operator. She saw that Tex was as big, if not bigger, than her kayak, and she said, no way. See you later. I'd like to be even more responsible thing and called us, because we're the real professionals here. And that's what we did. We went out there. Our owners, Gary and Harley, actually took 2 interns, quite like myself, on their very first nuisance call for Easy Catch. All right, just a couple. And how many of y'all think it was a hard catch? I don't know about y'all, but my little Danger Ranger, it don't have a 14-foot truck bed.